The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Coming up on the news at noon, a former superintendent in court this afternoon, just over a week before he's set to go to trial. What's next for Dr. Scott Ziegler? And later, child care costs on the rise, how the DMV measures up, and how one lawmaker is working to stretch your dollar for families.
And it's going to be a gorgeous afternoon out there, filled with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures. And it looks like sunshine will be sticking around through the rest of the week. So definitely keep it here. We'll have a check of that 7-day coming up.
Thank you, Brittany. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for DC News Now at noon. I'm Mark Hall. The former Loudoun County Public Schools superintendent accused of mishandling the sexual assault cases is back in court. Dr. Scott Ziegler is facing 3 misdemeanor charges, and our Liberty Zabala is outside the courtroom to break down what could happen today.
Well, Dr. Ziegler's pretrial motion is set here for today, and his defense team is really trying to get all of his charges dismissed, and they're even accusing the Virginia Attorney General's office of misconduct. In his motion, Dr. Ziegler's defense claims his constitutional rights are being violated in this case, according to WTOP. His team claims prosecutors exerted undue influence on the grand jurors' view of the evidence and tainted the indictments they returned. But prosecutors called the motion frivolous and said the defense should even be punished for filing it because it failed to redact a juvenile's name, which should have remained confidential. The charges come after Dr. Ziegler was fired back in December after a special grand jury report found his school system failed at all junctures to prevent sexual assault.
Children, that they're scarred for life after this. So we need to protect our kids. That's more important.
And another hearing is set for here on September 21st, and then the trial is set to begin shortly after. For now, in Leesburg, Liberty Zabala, DC News Now.
Liberty, thank you. Also developing this hour, Duval High School in Lanham is ramping up security after 16-year-old student Jada Maradrano Moore was shot and killed while walking home Monday. As of today, students will walk through new metal detectors at school and at sporting events. The school originally...
It's another tool that we use to address the safety and security concerns for the school system. We're changing our policies, procedures, which focuses on training, we're focusing on how we deal with situations, so it's one of the many things that we'll do to address it.
The school originally planned to install metal detectors over the next few months, but that was moved up because of the shooting. Taking a live look outside this evening, this afternoon. I'm a little ahead of myself. The sun is shining. Feels like it's a little warm out there, but who am I? Weathercaster Brittany Ward joins us now, latest check in the forecast. And Brittany, how are things looking today? I thought it was a little warm outside, but maybe I was just imagining.
Mark, today is going to be a beautiful day out there. We are getting a taste of fall across the entire DMV, and that trend is going to be following us as we head into the rest of your work week. Here's a look at satellite and radar, kind of showing you what's been going on. Not even a cloud in sky. That's going to be the trend throughout your entire day today, and those temperatures are going to be on the warmer side, mainly struggling to get out of the 80s for our highs today, but stepping out the door right now for lunch, it's looking pretty nice. 78 currently in the nation's capital, 75 as you head over there to Frederick, lower 70s right along I-81. And honestly, guys, it's going to be a very nice day for you guys to get outside and enjoy. Now, yes, we are a little bit cooler today than we were 24 hours ago, and this will be the common trend as we head through your Friday. Temperatures on Friday will still be struggling to get out of the 70s. But the good news is those dew point temperatures, they are on the lower side, meaning we are seeing lots of dry air in our atmosphere. So we're not going to have that mugginess that we've been feeling the past couple of days. Very comfortable as you are stepping out the door. And this will also be the trend trend as we head through your Friday. So planning out the rest of your afternoon, by that 1 o'clock hour, we're seeing those temperatures in the upper 70s, holding on to the upper 70s through 3 o'clock. But notice lots of sunshine will be the trend across the entire DMV. And then as we head to the next 3 days, we're still going to be holding on to those very nice temperatures. 79 expected to be the high today. And then as we head into your Friday, still holding on to the upper 70s for highs, lower 80s as we head into your Saturday. But overall, it's shaping out to be a beautiful start to the weekend. So definitely keep it here, Mark. We'll talk more about that 7-day in just a bit.
All right, Brittany, thank you. The man accused of murdering Greenbelt teacher Miriam Sela has been denied bond during the hearing for Harold Landon III. A judge described the case as horrific and called Landon a danger to the public. Court records show that Landon has a history of abusing women. He was already behind bars for a domestic case involving the mother of his child when police connected him to Sela's murder.
The cover-up and the attempt to really ensure that no one could identify the body, from my perspective, was deliberate.
Well, the suspect's defense team argues the evidence in this case is circumstantial. Investigators use phone records and a witness account to arrest him. And new this afternoon, police in Fairfax County are investigating the death of a man who forced his way into someone's home while naked last night. And officials say the man broke into a house on Ash Drive in Springfield just before midnight. Police say that they found him lying down in the house and he appeared to be under the influence. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Detectives are now working to identify the man. Well, more assaults are happening in Fairfax County. The Major Chief Association there released their mid-year crime report for the county, and it outlines crime data compared to 70 of the nation's largest police departments from January 1st to June 13th. According to the report, assaults increased by more than 500 cases. Shoplifting cases increased by more than 1,200. However, decreases in cases involving homicide, sexual assault, and robbery make Fairfax the safest of the 70 jurisdictions surveyed. And just weeks into the new school year, a new report from the watchdog agency shows that there's a teacher shortage in Virginia. According to JLARC, the Joint Audit and Review Commission, 5% of teaching positions are open in the state, and that's up 1% in comparison to last year. The report says that a state-specific required test is contributing to the problem. Governor Glenn Youngkin is now calling to get rid of that.
We should have a standard certification process that is equal to what other states are doing, so that we can have teachers who can come here from other states when they move and go to work right away. And there's no sense that we should put an incremental roadblock in their way.
The report also says the cost of getting a teaching license is expensive and contributes to the shortage. Well, Frederick County parents gathered last night to protest their school district's gender identity policies. Currently, schools allow students to be referred to by their preferred name and pronouns. However, some parents say they deserve a voice in the matter. The policy was created back in 2017 and allows students to use bathrooms and locker rooms corresponding to their gender identity. It also allows them to be referred to by their preferred name and pronouns. Now, some parents believe the policy is not transparent for them.
If there's something going on in school, I should be told. It's pretty fair.
These people here do not know the difference between sex and gender. These people here believe we are sexualizing children. No, we are letting children be who they are.
Frederick County leaders say they're not sure if changes to the policy will be made. A dispute over children's books could mean the end of a library in Front Royal, Virginia. The Warren County Board of Supervisors is withholding 75% of the library's funds unless the library revises its bylaws to give the county more of a say in what books are allowed. Library administrators say that they will run out of money at the end of the month if the funds aren't released. And parents, you know that raising a child is getting more and more expensive. A Lending Tree report shows that D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are among the top 20 most expensive states in the country to raise children. Artosan Fakile is in Virginia, explaining how lawmakers are trying to stretch your dollar by extending important federal child care funding.
Senator Tim Kaine, along with some others in Congress, introduced the Child Care Stabilization Act that will extend federal funding that they say will make child care providers keep their doors open and continue to serve families and children. In that LendingTree survey, it showed that D.C. is the third most expensive place to raise a small child, Maryland the fifth most expensive, and Virginia the 13th most expensive place to raise a small child. Legislators say without the new bill that was introduced for federal funding, child care providers across the nation could close their doors. They say the initial federal funding started because of the pandemic and its impact on child care, and they say that funding kept 220,000 child care providers afloat over the last few years. Senator Kaine says the lack of affordable child care in America is holding back families, workers, and the economy. He described it sort of like a domino effect: the cost of child care, the labor market, and the workforce that's out of work.
They're out of the workforce because they can't find and afford high quality, affordable child care. I agree with Representative Clark. We've got to do this first to make sure that we don't run over this cliff. What the cliff would mean in Virginia is the loss of child care spots for about 80,000 kids and probably the layoffs of nearly 2,800 early childhood education workers.
Officials say the Child Care Stabilization Act would provide funding each year for the next 5 years to continue the Child Care Stabilization Grant Program. The current funding is set to expire in about 2 weeks on September 30th. In Virginia, I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now. Back to you.